we need to make sure that they are the very best versions of themselves as product managers. We need to simplify things. Product ops can be the team to do that.
Hi, I'm your host, Magali Pellissier, and I'm a product manager. Welcome to Product Perspectives, the podcast for product people that gives a voice to their stakeholders. Each week, I show you the other side of a product. I interview the people who contribute to making products a success. They are engineers, writers, marketers, support analysts, UX designers, or even salespeople. Not only will I give them the credit they deserve, but will uncover what makes a good product and a good product manager from their perspective. Stakeholders management is a key skill for product managers. So just as you are obsessed with listening to your customers, let's hear from your stakeholders. Patrícia Cadete is a storyteller by training and by heart. After some years as a TV journalist, she found a different path in the intersection of all things people, marketing, and communication. In the past years, Patrcia has been working in fast-paced environments, advertising, marketing, fintech, where she has been fostering connections between people and brands across different time zones. Currently, she's a product operations manager at OutSystems, where she is leading an internal product management academy, helping to grow the next generation of product leaders. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm very happy to have somebody for product operations because there are lots of discussions about what product operation is, how do they interact with product managers. So can you please tell me more about what your role is as product operations manager?
Yes, and thank you so much for having me today. It's really a pleasure. And indeed, there are a lot of definitions around product operations because right now, since it's quite a new function, every organization is tailoring into their own needs. For us at OutSystems, the role of product operations is all about enabling product leaders and product managers to make product-informed decisions. It's the glue that helps our company to actually scale by improving alignment, communication, processes, everything around the product development lifecycle. I am the least product ops person within my product ops team because I have a very special project, which is called the B2B Product Management Academy. It's an internal learning program for product managers working at my company, and it's all about developing them so they can be performing at their best, having the best impact. So it's quite different value that I'm adding. It's the most differentiated. Not all of the product ops team do have someone just focused on education, on training product managers.
So there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, you said you're the only one focused on that learning program. So can you give us a sense of how big the product operations team is in your company?
At OutSystems, we have a team of 7 product ops managers, and we are organized in different areas. So we have strategy definition, deployment, and monitoring. So this is all the work that we do to assist the VP of product and the leaders on strategy definition and alignment with the company vision and strategy. And then it's about deploying it across the company to all key stakeholders. Then we have someone just focused in inbound and outbound communication. By inbound, we mean all the stakeholder feedback that is given to the product management team from portfolio marketing, customer-facing teams. And outbound, I mean the PM feedback to stakeholders, namely customers, partners, and other customer-facing teams. Then we have 1% focus more on processes and tools. This is the tools to help scale the PM function. For example, we have Product Board, which is the single source of truth for all the roadmap, for the insights, everything from a process level to help improve development lifecycle. I'm not talking about just, and there is this huge discussion about process people and product ops. It's the process to, and just enough process to eliminate inefficiencies and to be able to give more productivity back to the product management team. Then we have someone just on the product management side, so managing all the programs across the company from focused on product topics, go to market, product launch plans, and then we have the academy. At the moment, I don't only have the learning bit, I also have something that is the voice of PM, which is related with us going out there and telling our stories, increasing our brand awareness, and then at the same time augmenting our employer brand capacity. So being able to recruit more. It's us going out there just like I am here in a podcast, but it's all of the product managers and leaders going out there and just being able to give more back to the community in terms of knowledge sharing, which is quite important, just motivating more people to join this wonderful world of product management.
That is quite impressive because I haven't seen many organizations who have this type of product management operations structure. And you really have those rules defined, and you've understood that product operations is quite important to facilitate the role of product managers. Where do you think it comes from?
Well, it started in 2020, and it was actually something that came up from the product leadership team. So the VP of products at the time invited the director of product operations now, and she told her, well, we need to give time back to the product managers so they can be focused on what really matters, which is the product and the customers. We need to make sure that they are the very best versions of themselves as product managers. We need to simplify things. Product ops can be the team to do that. And the impact has been really, really great. And that's why we have been growing.
That sounds like a dream.
Yes.
Focusing especially on your role and your team, you're in charge of the company's learning program for product managers. Again, that sounds amazing. So what does that program cover?
The main goal of the academy is to develop the key product management skills through training, coaching, reading, sharing. The ultimate goal, of course, is to impact that this impacts their level of performance, impacts the product, impacts the business. And we invite top product leaders to come. So we are talking with the very best institutions, with the best gurus out there, and they are customizing training for us. And we needed something that is adapted to the way that we already are doing product here. I think this is very important. If you think about your product's present and future, it really relies and is dependent on very talented and strong product leaders. And if we are not developing our people, if we are not providing them with growth opportunities, there are other companies that will.
That sounds amazing again.
I'm always there to challenge. That's where I bring my creativity. But I'm there always with a group of people that are there to back me up where I lack in context.
This is the first time I hear a learning program for product managers. What I've seen in other companies is mostly product managers are assumed to know how to do their job. But then usually when you get training, then it would be external training. So you'd go on a course or you'd go to a conference. Why did you make that decision to do the training yourself?
That's how it used to work in the past at OutSystems, actually. So people would go to this course or this program or this conference. And well, I think it worked at a certain point, but then as we were growing and we were needing different skills, especially during the hypergrowth phase, we understood that the way of doing product that got us here was not enough anymore, and we needed to upscale our team. The best thing that the academy provides is that curated content. So they are not going to a program where they are using a different framework. It's very much aligned to what we do. But then we have these amazing case studies. We have this amazing experience from that product guru. It's challenging our ways of thinking and is providing a lot of value through that. It's not me that's doing the teaching. I don't have any product management backgrounds, but I am connecting with product managers that tell me what do we need, and then I work together with them to make sure that that is everything that our community needs.
When did you operate that shift? Can you tell us a bit more maybe about your company so we understand what product you're creating, and also the size of the company to understand at what scale does a company start to think about shifting to in-house training?
So OutSystems, just a bit of background, our mission is to give every organization the power to innovate through software. We have a market leader platform that helps companies, organizations to build applications fast, right, and for the future. Our platform basically optimizes the development experience with a set of visuals and module-based tools and allows seamless collaboration between departments. And we are around 1,600 employees at the moment. And during this hypergrowth phase, this new need to have in-house, very tailored training appears. It's been a long time, since 2001, since the company was founded. And it was time to refresh the way that we were doing things, because just sending 2, 3, 4 product managers to this course and other 5 to another course, we miss all the good that comes from a shared experience where everyone is in the same experience. There is a common sense of knowledge. We all have the same baseline of knowledge. The academy still sponsors you going to a conference or you going to a very specific training that just you in that area that you need.
One very important fact you mentioned is you are not a product manager. You have, however, a very varied experience with some elements of marketing, fintech, different industries as well. How do you do to teach product management if you're not a product manager, and how has this experience helped you to be good at your role?
Basically, we have a framework that codifies all the product management top skills. Everyone is assessed through that framework, and we have a gap analysis where we understand how far away are from what was the level that we need to be at. And once we do that, we can understand what skills do we as a group need to invest on. And then what I research top external gurus that are really good at that specific skill, and we invite them to design a training program for us. But from a learning experience, from making sure that we are giving them everything that they need from a logistic perspective, from thinking outside of the box in terms of what type of things are we doing from in each session, I'm always there to challenge. That's where I bring my creativity. But I'm there always with a group of people that are there to back me up where I lack in context. And that's very important. Otherwise, I would not have accepted the job. So I think I bring a lot of lateral thinking. But by the way, I'm also doing a crash course on product management, because that's really important for me to really understand my audience.
Yeah, that's really good. You've mentioned lots of skills that you have and you can bring to the table. So strategic thinking, creativity. What do you think are the key skills that make you successful in this role?
Communication and empathy, I would say these are the top ones. I need to spend a lot of time trying to understand what are their challenges so I can try to improve their experience and their knowledge. So having the empathy for what they need to be at, and then solving that problem. And communication in terms of making learning fun. We had a stakeholder Shark Tank. It was a competition in a road mapping workshop. In the end, everyone had to pitch to a different stakeholder, and they were real stakeholders at the company level. No one knew who they were. They just knew their audience and that they needed to tailor their roadmap presentation to that audience. And there was a very safe way for them to receive feedback from stakeholders in terms of what they would like to hear when they are hearing that presentation about the roadmap. There was a prize in the end. One of the comments that I really loved at the time was that all product managers said, we should do this quarterly, all presentations to stakeholders, all of my presentations should be doing like this. So I put a lot of effort in trying to make learning fun. Even communication, when I'm launching a new initiative, I try different formats. I'm not always going to do an email. I have done videos, fun videos, just telling what's coming up next in our learning roadmap. So I try to mix a bit what I bring from my journalism background.
Fabulous answer. I don't know if you know, but communication and empathy are also the top skills for product managers.
Yes, the academy is a product. I see it as a product.
Yeah, the approach you're taking is definitely, you mentioned meeting with stakeholders, understanding their pain points, their needs, well, and backing it up with data from your framework. That's exactly the type of approach a product manager would have. So maybe you don't need that crash course.
No, I do. And I'm looking forward to my weekly learning hour.
I like the emphasis on having fun, because sometimes it's hard to be a product manager. Sometimes it's fun. I like doing workshops with my team, stick post-its everywhere. It's a bit less fun when you do it remotely. But sometimes you're facing clients who are not happy with your product and there's bugs that you need to solve. So that emphasis of having fun is really important. I love the video thing. So this is only one part of your job. And I don't know how you manage to do something else as well, which is this Voice of Product Management program.
It's a program that is all about helping and enabling our product management team overall to tell the world the amazing things that they are doing. It's about knowledge sharing with a wider product management community. It can be blog posts, podcasts, videos, talks, anything that brings us visibility and recognition to our craft, the way that we are doing product at OutSystems, because we are hiring. So being able to tell the world what we are doing, what our product is capable of, is also helping to attract more talent. But the main thing that we want is knowledge sharing. We all have learned so much from other companies, how they are doing things. If we are doing something different, why not share it and say how we are doing it? For example, my team started Product Ops Unwrapped, which is a talk series where we are just telling others how the first year went, what are we doing in those areas that I just told you. So everyone from our team has been doing a talk and just explaining what has been our core focus areas, and we are doing practical insights into how we are doing it. And those Product Ops and Wrap talks are really cool because we get to network, we get to meet a bunch of amazing people, and they also let us know how they are doing things.
Some companies have a Voice of the Customer program.
Yes.
And some are just implementing it now. They're not early in that implementation. I'm assuming you already have a Voice of a Customer program, and you're at the next step, which is also evangelism of what product does.
Yeah, there are other companies that they don't call it Voice of PM. Intercom is a perfect example of that because they have a product management blog, a podcast, ebook on product management. So the work that they do from a knowledge sharing perspective, it's amazing. The Academy is a product. I see it as a product.
So you mentioned you were a journalist before, you also worked in marketing. How did you get into product operations?
If you asked me 2 years ago that I would be working in product operations, I think I would laugh, because I would not look at product operations as something that I would see myself in. But to tell you, long story short, I was referred by a past colleague that worked with me. At the time, I was doing employer branding in a Portuguese tech company, Fidzai. The challenge in Fidzai and in many tech companies is that they need to be better at attracting and hiring tech talent, retaining their current people. That's something that many companies at the moment are facing, just this huge talent shortage that we are living. Plus, with COVID and the remote transition, it's a hot talent market. So at the time, I was pretty much focused on that life cycle, from attracting to hiring and engaging with the already employees that we had at the company, making sure that we were retaining the right people. And my colleague phoned me and said, we have at OutSystems this really great opportunity, and I thought of you immediately. I think you are the right person to set this academy up. At the time, I didn't have much experience in developing on the learning program, so I was quite puzzled. And when I knew that the audience was product management, I was like, well, but I don't know if I'm the right person. And he said, but let me just introduce you to the director of product ops, and she will explain what exactly is the program. For me, it was quite exciting because I love to leave my comfort zone. I got used to that ever since I stopped doing journalism and I moved to the tech world. So I'm kind of addicted to just someone pull the rug off of me, and I now need to perform well under these very new conditions. I kind of enjoy it, to be honest. And So this opportunity to start a learning program from scratch with the right help, because for me that was very important. I saw it as a very exciting project, and seeing this company willing to put this level of commitment by hiring someone to just do this, and the investment, because we have a budget, of course, that we need to manage in order to bring product people to teach us, right, and to mentor us. Immediately I knew, wow, this company is really something. So I want to be a part of this. So there was this click, and that's how I got into product ops. I'm, again, the least product ops manager of my product ops team and all product ops teams overall, because when I gave a talk in our talk series, everyone was like, wow, this is the first time I'm hearing about an internal product management academy. Can I go too? And I'm like, oh, this is internally. I'm so sorry. We do not accept external PMs, but we do have some resources that we put available in our website, so you can check that out. It crushes my heart to say that it's only internal, but who knows? Maybe in the future we get to externalize some of the contents. We'll see.
I will definitely check out your website. And I'm sure some people will listen would think, oh, that sounds like a great company. Let's check out the career section as well.
Oh, I hope so, because we are hiring. I promise that we are fun.
It really sounds fun. In this podcast, we also have somebody that you know asking you a question. So this is Angela Diniz, and Angela is a lead product manager in your team, and Angela has a question for you.
Hi, Patricia. What I would like to ask you is, what is your process to find the best learning opportunities in a big team of product managers who sometimes have different needs? Thank you.
That's a great question, Angela, and thank you so much. Angela, it's quite a buddy of mine when it comes to the academy, and she goes to all the sessions of the academy, by the way. So we have a framework. That framework basically highlights all the critical skills for B2B product management, all the skills that product manager OutSystems need to have in order to be successful. And we define the skills and the level of proficiency for each career level. What we did in the first instance was to assess everyone to understand the overall strengths and also the weaknesses, so the gaps in knowledge that the academy needed to solve. And we did that in the form of a gap analysis. We look at the PM's current level and we compare with the level of proficiency that they should have at that career level, for example. And once this exercise is done, we have this huge heat map. Just imagine a huge heat map with a lot of different colors. And we clearly understand from a group perspective what are the skills that we need to put a bit of effort and focus in developing. When the academy started, we did this first exercise, assessing everyone on the team, as we monitor and reassess how the growth plan of each individual is. We see people that still need to develop some skills, others that already had an improvement. And so at this point in time, we are now starting to cater to different needs through different formats. For example, it can be through coaching, more individual coaching. Right now, actually, I'm working on something that it's for PM senior leadership. We are talking about group PMs. They already master PM technical skills. They are managers of product managers, and some of them already interact a lot with the executive team. And they need to develop also more soft skills, I would say, people skills, leadership skills. And normally the HR or the people team would provide that sort of training or manager training, but the academy is looking at this conundrum from a product leadership perspective. So we are right now looking into what are exactly those skills and how can we help them also improve that. Our training partners are really good. We had Bruce McCarthy from Product Roadmaps Relaunch, which was amazing. We had Tammy Rice that worked very closely with Melissa Perry. So we have been welcoming very cool instructors, and they have been wonderful mentors for our team.
Some big names indeed. Wow, impressive.
Yes.
Right. I like to have a section where I propose you multiple options and you pick one of them, and you can also justify your choice. So you've worked in journalism, marketing, product. What's your favorite?
Oh my God, this is very hard for me. Can I say communications and marketing within product? Can I get away with this?
I guess you can. I wish people could see you with the gesture you've done with your arm, like saying, trying to mix it all together.
Yes.
Yes, you can say that. I'll accept that. Next one, classroom training or online training?
Oh, I would say classroom training at the moment, because last year we had all the trainings were remote and they were wonderful, but this week we had the first, since I joined OutSystems, in-person training. And it was wonderful to just see everyone in the classroom reaching to other people like, oh, can you help me with this exercise? Oh, how did you do that? Can we brainstorm and stop for a minute? And there were a lot of wonderful questions that came out of that just because they were in the same room. Right now, my answer is in person.
Right. And you've mentioned several mediums to share the knowledge internally. Videos, maybe slides during those classroom trainings, emails. Which one do you pick?
Ooh, I'm a fan of Loom, the
Yes.
tool. So lately I've been doing in Loom, but I need to say probably video. I love doing a video and I take a bunch of parts from our remote meetings where they are learning, and I do a matchup just before I go into the topic, and it's great to see everyone's faces, especially when we were remote. So I love video, and this is because I was a TV journalist.
Good. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I've learned a lot. And for product managers who are not part of your company and they don't have access to all this amazing training, how do you recommend they learn and develop their skills?
Look somebody up in your organization that you look up to, and why not exchange trade-off coaching or mentoring and try to have a sync with that person, trying to understand how that person got to that level of knowledge and how can you adapt to your own needs. And that person can help you identify, for example, if there is any training that you need, and you have this ally within the organization that not only give you context, but can also give you a bunch of resources and tips and advice recommendations. So I would say that would be my number one suggestion.
Good. Sounds brilliant. Thank you. So if people are interested in getting in touch with you, where can they contact you?
Pretty much everywhere. DM on LinkedIn. I'm pretty much on all the product management Slacks, Mind Your Product, a product school. Yeah, just reach out to any channel that's okay, and I will, of course, take time to answer you. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this chat. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that it has enabled you to understand your stakeholder and inspired you to better work with them to make successful products. If so, please share the link with your friends and colleagues. And if you want to suggest some topics, some guests, if you have questions you'd like me to ask during the interviews, or if you have any feedback, you can write to me at magalypellissier@hotmail.fr.